Greetings, patients, and welcome back to another episode of the Doc Docs. I'm your host, Doc Hak, back at it again. This week, with a slightly different type of episode, we're going to try to crank out more episodes for you to get you more informed. There are thousands and thousands of niche topics that we want to discuss. Today, I will be informing you guys about supporters culture for the beautiful game. Go! Specifically focusing on a supporters group for a team that does not even exist yet. Now, what do I mean by that? Surely there can't be a sports team with a fan group that has no team to cheer for yet, but there is such an enigmatic team, and it's right here in Los Angeles. In fact, it has it right in the name, Los Angeles Football Club. Los Angeles Football Club, otherwise known as LAFC, is an expansion franchise set to begin play in Major League Soccer in 2018. The ownership group alone is massive and star-studded, with names like Peter Guber, Henry Wynn, Will Ferrell, Mia Hamm, Nomar Garciaparra, Magic Johnson, Tony Robbins. The list goes on and on. The stadium is being built as we speak. There is just so much excitement surrounding this team already, and they won't even kick off for another year. Some of the supporters groups include the Black Army, District 9 Ultras, Lucky Boys, Expo Originals, who I will be talking to in a minute, so stay tuned for that. However, it hasn't always been a smooth road for Major League Soccer. There have been teams in the past, such as Miami Fusion and more recently Chivas USA, who have had to fold because of ownership issues as well as lack of fan support. But I believe in this day and age, the sport has an opportunity to gain new fans, especially younger fans. Not to say that this is an instant success before the team hits the field, but it is a positive outlook for the sport and the supporters who are excited to support their city's team. The US is obviously so big. There's many opportunities to build new franchises, new teams, and so I had to find out more about this new team, specifically this fan group that is so dedicated, waiting for the first kick, which is in 2018. So let's see what they had to say.
Basically, the group started because there was a demand for an LAFC original SG. Over the last year and a half, we've just been doing social media, showing people what we're about. People have been really interested in us, and I guess mostly by word of mouth, people have been finding our group and joining up.
So my husband and I were moving to Los Angeles, and we knew there was a new soccer team coming to town, and we wanted to be a part of it, so we decided to go through all the supporter groups and figure out which one we belonged to, and it was the Expos.
What first got me interested in joining a supporters group was, just seeing the way everybody was unified at the very first rally that I went to in November. Everybody, was super passionate. It was something that I hadn't seen before with any other team here.
I joined Expo Originals originally when basically there's two groups didn't agree with what they were doing with the club and their direction. So just decided, just go brand new, just like the club, I was actually going to start my own group, but I thought, dude, why add to the problem? You just have a whole new group, just unite, That was the whole point from the beginning, just unite, with everybody.
My background is Argentine. My family is all Argentine, so obviously I might be a little biased, but I think we have the best supporter culture in the world in Argentina. So when LAFC came along, I was hoping that one day we could have something like Boca Juniors has in their stadium, where it's incredible atmosphere, super loud, super passionate.
My dad is a soccer fan. He's not super passionate, crazy like a lot of other people are, but he watched casually like Mexican League and the Mexican national team and stuff. But it wasn't until the 2010 World Cup that I got super passionate about it and decided to actually start following the game a little more.
I grew up playing soccer my entire life, but I think that not until the last few years did I actually, kind of get to know the supporter groups. Went to Seattle for a game, went to Los Angeles for a game, and just kind of saw what groups they had there.
I got into MLS originally with the Galaxy. Yeah, you can put that on camera. And, I didn't really feel like there was a connection, to be honest. They might hear that a million times. It'll never lose its meaning, dude. It's true as they say it every time. Just from there, kind of gave up on MLS a bit until I saw this opportunity, and I just felt like, hey, it's one last chance to get into it.
I'm pretty familiar with supporters culture. Here in the U.S., especially for soccer, it's way different than, say, like NFL or NBA or something, because when you go to an NFL or NBA games especially, you hear stuff being played over the PA to try to get the crowd into it, whereas, you know, for soccer, not just here, but, you know, around the world, it's the fans that are doing it themselves.
Soccer supporters are known around the world as the 12th man because basically their job is to push the players forward and make sure that their players are performing to the best of their abilities. Whereas I think in most other sports, especially unfortunately in American sports, the fans are there mostly to be entertained. They'll only really make noise after a touchdown or someone scores or something like that. Whereas in soccer, people take pride in singing for 90 minutes.
With the U.S. soccer culture, they're growing that just like us. They're open-ended as well. They're learning a lot from other cultures, taking the best from them and making the best of it here. You see it with the Timbers Army. You can see it sometimes with like Ini Riyadi from Toronto. They're taking a lot of good things from Europe and just making it awesome. And I think with LA, especially with a new team like this, dude, we got like a blank canvas. We got the whole world in front of us.
I think specifically here in Los Angeles, being such a diverse city, we've got a kind of very unique supporter culture that we're building. People aren't just passionate, but there's a little mix of everything in our songs, in our drums. One of our supporter groups, Lucky Boys, is a Premier League pub group that got together and decided to start a supporters group. So you'll see a lot of English flair when we're at events and singing. District 9 Ultras have a lot of Spanish flair.
Like me, I only joined in December, but a lot of these people have been here since like day one or since like a year and a half ago, So I think gradually like more and more people are gonna see what we're about and gravitate towards it.
We're learning as we go, and I think we kind of take the best from all aspects of active support.
We're definitely very member-oriented, and I don't think that's super common with supporter groups around the world and in MLS. We're also just extremely diverse. I think we've got people from every continent in the world, men, women, younger, older.
We spend pretty much every single weekend with our new family, our Expo family. So I think, it's just, we're always talking about it because we're always doing something, or we had just, done something the past weekend that was really exciting. Again, we don't even have a team yet, and we're doing all of these exciting things right now. So I think once it actually becomes season and, we're actually going to games and things, it's going to be way crazier.
I mean, as far as just LAFC, like I'll get people, like if I'm wearing my hat or the jacket or something, they'll ask me about it, like, oh, when's the team start, like when's the next event. Like I've had a couple people ask me about it that are interested in the team that never really could get into Galaxy for whatever reason.
Given the fact that I'm Samoan, a lot of Samoans don't watch soccer. it becomes a discussion topic, but they're not. You can tell that they're like, oh, okay, that's cool, that's what you do, that's fine, But I have seen slowly, because I wear my LAFC stuff every day to work, people are starting to notice, oh, dude, you know what? My friend saw it, or my friend's got the hat. Slowly but surely, they'll get to know it eventually, The fact that they know it over the Galaxy, I'm already happy with that, dude,
My vision, what I see happening in the coming years is that people are going to realize that LAFC is the first club team in Los Angeles as opposed to the typical corporate team that you see in the Rams or Clippers or Kings, I think people are going to realize that LAFC is a rarity in the fact that it's all about the community, about the city. I think, it's going to be awesome to see people around LA repping this club.
Soccer supporter culture around the world has not always had the most pristine reputation. Now, I'm sure you've seen videos online of supporters throwing things, getting into fights, chanting racist or immature things. But what I've found is most of these supporters groups, especially the newer ones, have a standard of moral behavior. They're not just supporters of this team. They're more than that. They want to give back to the community. They want to give back to the sport that they love. You can really see that with the events that they hold, with the charities that they give back to, with the community that they build. Yeah, they're excited for this thing, but it's not even gonna be here for another year. This is more than just being fans of a team. This is a communal thing where you meet like-minded people, you share experiences, and you improve the community as a whole. Now, in 2018, when you see someone wearing a scarf like this, and you see someone wearing a hat like this, you can go in, give them a big hug, just celebrate life, celebrate the community, even if you're not into the sport, and just sing along. I've been Doc Hak, and you have been prescribed.